everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have actually it's a die haul, and not a real big one, but it is some dies that I purchased that were designed by my friend Carolyn, who is Teatime and Dolls here on YouTube. And her and I, we share the same interest in a lot of our dies. We like the same things. So when we first met, it was, we were together in a group swap with Tamika, who is Scrap the World. And I was so happy to be in her group because I had been admiring her work. So when we got paired up in that group, I was really happy. And so we became friends, and it has been years, and we have become really good friends. So I started making my own dies, and of course my friend Carolyn, she had also had plans of creating her own dies, so we both started making our own dies. And but I love her style. Me personally, I'm not an artist that draws, so it's more difficult for me. Carolyn draws, so Carolyn has an eye for designing dies that have a lot of detail in them, and I love dies like that. So I did purchase her first two dies that came out, one of them being the Armoire that she created for me when we had our first personal swap between her and I, and it was a Marie Antoinette swap that she created for me. And she designed an armoire for that swap, for the things she was my swap. And I want to share that with y'all. But she also created a dresser for me that was also a Marie Antoinette themed dresser. And Carolyn at that time, I'm not sure if she was designing paper, because she also designs digital paper. But anyway, she likes that Victorian style, and so do I. And she had created these two things for our personal swap, our very first swap. And she made them into dies. So, of course, I had to buy them. Plus, the fact that Carolyn has a great eye for adding detail to her dies on top of that. So I want to share with you the dies. The first one I want to share with you is the dresser die. And she did create this one for our swap. And she created this one for our swap. And when she came out with the die, I went ahead and purchased the die. So I want to share with you all the pieces that are in the die. This is her label right here that she created because she does design paper. Look at how gorgeous that is. It's Teatime and Dolls Vintage Shop. So this is what she designed for her cover inside her packaging. I'm gonna have to see if she'll create one for me, because I love her designing. You hear that, sis? Anyway, so I purchased the dresser die, and I did put one together, but first I want to share with you what comes in it. So let me move these off to the side for a minute. She added a lot of detail in here, you guys. If you like a vintage style kind of, if your style is more vintage and Victorian, and you like 3D projects and dressers and doll houses, and this goes all in that same line. So first she did the silhouette for the overall dresser, which has the drawer portion part plus the mirror. So that is the overall shape, and this is huge. Let me measure it for y'all. From side to side, at the widest point, it measures approximately 6 3/8. So you do need a full-size platform. You won't be able to cut this with your regular Big Shot unless you have the Big Shot Plus or a larger cutting machine that takes larger cutting plates. And from top to bottom, it's long, you guys. It measures, I'm going to say approximately, I'm going to say about 10.5 inches, and it might be a little bit more. That's why I say approximately. So that's the size of the main die, and you would, of course, have to cut that out and get however many layers, you know, however thick you want to do it. The more layers you glued together, the sturdier it's going to be, unless you're real good at fussy cutting and you can cut one and use it as a template to cut on chipboard. I just cut it out several times because I'm not good at fussy cutting. And then you get the front panel, which is this portion. Think of this as a 3D dresser. So this is the portion that has the front legs plus where the drawers pull out. So you can create this to be a 3D dresser, but she didn't include the sides for it. You would have to do that on your own, but it also makes a beautiful mini album, and it's a very good size, so you could definitely put maybe a 4x6 picture in this area, or some kind of waterfall or something like that. And then she also included the die for the legs to reinforce them, to make them strong. So I really love that, because like I said, I do have the original that she created. I don't know why she didn't name this collection Ida's collection. Really, sis, just kidding. So, and then she created the detail cut for the mirror. Look at all the detail in that. It is stunning, you guys. And this does cut out the silhouette, but she is coming out with a new release that's going to take care of this problem right here, which is not a problem, but if you want a silhouette, this is not going to give you that, because this cuts out the center. So that goes right there. And then these are the two rectangles for the drawers on the dresser. And then you get the two drawer front panels with a lot of detail in them. So these would go here on the drawer right there. Look at how gorgeous that is. And then she also gave us some butterflies, because the shape of the top of the mirror on the armoire resembles a butterfly. She actually made some butterflies that we could put in there. So that was very clever. And then she gave us some actual working drawer pulls. I don't know if you noticed, but this has the drawers has two little slots right there. And this one has a long piece that you would actually insert in there and thread it back through and glue this little tab onto itself. And then you would cut another one and just sandwich that little tab in between two of the drawer pulls. So these are actually working drawer pulls. But if you're going to make them like that, I would recommend that you thread a piece of wire through them, or use some tie back or something that's not going to tear when you're opening the drawers. That's the only thing. But as far as it giving it beautiful detail, it is just awesome. I love it. So that is all the pieces for the dresser. So let me share it with you guys. I did create a Maggie Holmes themed dresser when I was working on the Maggie Holmes stuff. So this is what I created with her dresser, but I created mine to be a 3D. So and then I made it a little runner that you would put on top of your dresser, to keep it nice and pretty and shabby. But here is the dresser. I did have to fussy cut the back panel, and I did it in silver so it would reflect like a mirror. So I did that in silver. And here is the beautiful frame that it cuts out. And then this is just a die from my stash, because I wanted to make it like a garden theme dresser. So I added the flowers there and the little butterfly. But here are the drawer pulls. Look at that, you guys. How gorgeous is that? It is stunning. So I did cut out this back portion. Let me turn it to the back. I did cut it out a few times, and I did reinforce the legs and everything with popsicle sticks so it wouldn't collapse. Although I could keep cutting more and adding more. I mean, that you can do that as well. But I kind of, when something has legs like this, I reinforce from the bottom to the top and then across. And the same thing here with popsicle sticks or some kind of thin, like a wooden stir. That's what I do. Also here on the mirror, see how mine tends to go down because of the layers I have in front. So it would be a good idea for me to add maybe a popsicle stick here where it would keep the mirror straight. But it doesn't really bother me. I could definitely bend it back a little bit. It wouldn't be an issue. And I could get it back to where I need it to be. It's not an issue. But I love the way it looks. Here's the detail. This actual piece right here goes to the armoire, but the legs on the armoire and the dresser are the same, so you can mix and match your pieces. So I really like that. But you can see, let me bring it up really, really close so you guys can see the detail in that piece. I love it. She did an amazing job. There's a lot of detail on the front ornate piece that goes on the front of the drawer. And then here's the drawer pull. See, they are actual working drawer pulls. So if I was to pull this, I could actually open the drawer. Inside the drawer, I did use my divider die to create a division or different cavities in here that I could add flowers or whatever I wanted to. And that's the, I think this is the 2-inch gift box divider from my own collection that I created. That's what I did here to be able to separate all that. And so there's one drawer. And let me pull out the other one. And I did make them a little snug, so you have to be careful if you make it real snug. I really don't like pulling it from the tab, even though I can see these move. I could actually use it, but I don't want to. For me, it's just for looks. And this one I didn't divide anything or anything, but I used real thick paper, so it's really nice and sturdy. I actually need to add glue there, it looks like. But those are the true drawers, and then let me show you the inside. So what you can do here, you can create 2 boxes and stack them one on top of the other with leaving the front open, just closing the back and all the way around, but not the front, leaving one side open. And then you create your drawers, which is the same thing, creating another box, but instead of leaving one of the top, instead of closing the top, you don't close the top, you leave it open and close the sides. So that's pretty much what you can do here to really reinforce it. Then of course, because you would have 2 stacking pieces here, you would need to add a complete panel where it wouldn't look like there were 2 separate pieces. And I would actually probably add a piece of chipboard first and then my layering pieces. But that's what I did with mine, and look at how gorgeous this came out. And I haven't really put anything in it, and it's not totally complete. Well, yeah, it's kind of complete. But that's what I created. But that you would have to figure out on your own, and I will tell you how I figured it out. Put this back in place. See, mine are really snug because I like my drawers to fit pretty snug. So mine are really snug, but I love the way this came out. The way I figured out how big my drawers needed to be, I measured my this piece right here from top to bottom, not top to bottom, from the top of the die to right here in the corner where the legs, right here where the legs start to curve, I stopped there. So that's how I got the height of the boxes that I needed to make. They could only be this tall when they were stacked together. So I took that and divided it into 2. And for the width, I did the same thing. I measured from side to side. I measured my die from side to side, and that's how I knew how wide they needed to be. Now, after you create your 2 boxes, then you would measure the opening of your boxes, and then you create your drawers. You go from there to create your the drawers for your box. But that's how I created this. So that's the one. And these are, you know, going in special pockets because these were created by my friend. And not only that, but they are beautiful dies. So let's put that one in a pocket. And some of these were gifted to me from one of my crafty friends here on YouTube. And I really love these pockets. So, and definitely this is a big die. So you would need a larger full-size pocket to store these. So I don't want to lose any pieces, so that's going in here. So that's one of them. Now, the armoire is tall as well. So here's the cover to the armoire. For the armoire, she did create several pieces that I don't even have on my own project, but let me share the die with you first, and then I will share my project. So first she created the overall silhouette. I haven't even cut mine apart yet. For the Armoire, and this is pretty large, you guys, so let me measure it for you. So it's again, you will need a full-size cutting machine. So this measures 5 3/4. Well, actually no, down here at the widest point, 6 3/8 again. So the legs that are on this one and the other one should be the same or about the same. So you always have an extra one in case, you know, you're having trouble with one, or you want to cut more than one at the same time, or you put more wear and tear on one, so you do have that. And then she included, again, working pulls for the doors. So these are working, the same concept. You would thread it through that little notch that's right there and then fold it onto itself to be a working, I'm sorry, these are not door pulls. These are hinges, working hinges. And we worked on that a little bit because she was having trouble with the opening. There's a certain way you have to design for these, so we kind of figured that out, and she was able to get that done. So she does give you, these are the hinges and the layering pieces, I believe, for the hinges. I have not put this together because I had the SVG that she gifted me, and I was able to create mine with the SVG. So you get this piece, and there are the door panels here. I'm sorry, I didn't even explain everything to y'all. So the overall piece, these are not cut apart. You get the overall silhouette. You get the door panels right here. You get the leg portion to layer here. And then you get the hinges with the layering pieces to go on the side of the door. Now, when she created this for me, this was a little bit more narrow. And she used really teeny tiny metal hinges. But when she created this, she gave us a little bit more here. So the doors are smaller. But so you would be able to add hinges there that were a little bit more substantial. So that was the purpose of that. And again, her beautiful packaging. And then she gave us another of the silhouette, which one is the front and one is the back. The one is the overall silhouette without the doors attached. One has the opening for the doors. That way you know where to line your doors. That's what the purpose of the second die is. She also gave you a tiara type of upper portion to decorate this top portion if you wanted it to look that way. And she gave you a crown, and she also gave you a sentiment with 2 layering pieces, the intricate piece, and it does have a crown right here. It says fit for a queen, and you get the crown that layers on top of here in case you want to do it in a different color. So she gave us that. And the first doors that I shared with you are silhouettes. These doors are the ones that have the open cut panels if you want to put a certain design in them or a different color paper. So she did give us that. I would not break these apart if I didn't have to, but I don't really think it makes a big deal because these are made to open and cut individually. So you get these, and then right here, these are the door pulls for the Armoire. Similar to, not exactly like the dresser, but the same concept. They would be actual working hinges and working door pulls. And then here's the layering piece for those. And then this is a big set, you guys. And then you get, let me take them off of here. I love, love, love this set. So then you get the portion to decorate the bottom of your, let me pull my dresser back out. You get this portion to either decorate on the top. There's a smaller one and a larger one, and you can use them any way that you want. But this is made to decorate, for you to cut an intricate piece to go right here on the bottom or on top. The tiara is actually made for the top, or you can use the other piece. So one's bigger and one is larger as far as these go. Yeah, they're real similar, but one's bigger than the other. So the difference is just very little, but you can use them wherever you like. I think I used them even on my dresser. So there is those pieces right there. These pieces go on the door, and this is where you would thread that working door pull. There are the 2 slots right there for you to thread it through and then back up and glue it onto itself, and then you would glue the backing to it. But that's how these are designed to work. And she does give you two, so you're not cutting out one at a time. You get two, and I'm going to show you where these go. I didn't use them on mine because mine was already pre-done. And then you get some decorative pieces. Let me bring the doors back up. Then she gave you some decorative pieces that you would decorate, wrong side, that you would decorate your door with. So these would go here as a decorative piece. How gorgeous is that? So she put a lot of detail in this dresser. And then these are the ones that go, actually I can show you right here where these go. These are where you would insert these door pulls, and that will line up right here. And that's where those go, right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous die set. So she gives you everything, including a tag. I'm going to share mine with you. This is the one I created with the SVG file. I would have loved to have had the die for this because I buy a lot of digitals. And this is by Shabby Art Boutique. Beautiful, beautiful Queen Anne, I think is what it's called, artwork. And so I wanted the ladies in here in certain areas. I did add right here, the little piece that embosses for detail, and then the door pulls. But I did use some little pulls that have rings on them, and I did use little hinges because this is the original file. For the die, you get a thicker piece right here where the door meets, where the side meets the door, and you have more room to add your hinge there. And here is the bottom. I added clay pieces to mine because the die wasn't created yet. Same thing here. I created a clay piece to go there because the die wasn't created then. But she gives you that beautiful crown that you can add to the top there. Here are the sides. She doesn't give you to create the sides. That you would have to work on your own. But a lot of we're crafters, and most of us make 3D projects. Here's the back to mine. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. So you could definitely add the details with those pieces that Carolyn included. There's the side panel to mine. And these are working doors. So they do open up. And I haven't quite finished this yet. Like, I still have work to do on it. And then I did this. I used some specialty paper that I had to look like mirror, but more like, you know, more like mercury glass, or like an old mirror. That's what I did there. But look at how gorgeous that looks. I mean, you can still see the brads here. I'm not even done working on this. But that is what that creates. And when you create, if you're going to create it 3D, you definitely have to leave a piece up here, because that will be up here and on top, because that would be your stopper for your doors to not sink in. It would stop your doors from sinking in. But, you know, absolutely beautiful. But this is definitely something you would take your time when you're creating, because it has a lot of detail. You know, you put a lot of work or specialty paper in it, and Carolyn gives you all the pieces to make it look beautiful. Anyway, I think Carolyn only has a few of the armoire left. She has, I think, a few more of the dresser left as well. I will link Carolyn's channel in the description box below, and if you're interested, you can ask her there, and if they're still available or not. But I know she has only a handful of the armoire. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.